James. I'm Ian, and I'm joined as ever by Dave.
Hello.
And we're moving on to Sunday. This is E2 2023, and the first thing is the battle in the Barrens, right? And this is a big deal, right? I mean, like, basically, it's if we win, we get control of the Barrens, which is like a territory. And from my understanding, the way that territories work are there's a certain number of regions. When you have the majority of regions, you have control of the territory, and what that basically means is you can do a whole bunch of stuff easier in that region.
Well, you can also
put magic in and all kinds of weird stuff.
You have a senator, you have a whole bunch of stuff, like you have the economic income from that area.
The senator stuff was huge, right?
Big deal. Basically, we were monstering. We were Druj.
Yep.
My squad basically joined like the front row.
Yeah,
when we first came out.
I borrowed I'd never done battle maging before. Mm-hmm. I borrowed your little rod, and I just went out in quite light sort of clothes. Essentially, it was so fun. Like, you have a lot of fun being a battle mage.
Yeah,
it's really fun. Like, genuinely, I was like, oh yeah, this like the way you can move around the battlefield and affect different things, and like you can incite action, if that makes sense, right? Because all your spells are like activators for the people around you. Really, that was so much fun. Like, and you went sword. Did you have the shield as well, or was it just the sword?
I had a buckler.
Yes, yeah. It was cool. It was cool.
When we headed out there,
there
was some movements in the lines.
Yeah,
people pulled back, some people advanced, and we got absolutely sandwiched. I got ruffle stomped by some Dawn, I think.
Yeah.
And then I was off to the respawn for the first time. Yeah,
so we did this. I think we ended up moving and joining the Wintermark Emu, which was really good fun. And there was a whole bunch of us sort of mages, and we were sort of joined into the group. But it was a hot day, dude.
Yeah.
And for everybody involved. And I think, like, the Imperials just was so strong. And it was not the time for, like, light skirmish tactics of, like, run in and run out. I was so hot and sweaty. I think we did this charge and we engaged, and then you try and do that sort of Druj feigned retreat thing, and it literally ended up in just like walking back. And of course, it's so hot they're not really chasing; they're just following us back to like the gate, because it was just like we couldn't get any ground to hold. Right?
I remember thinking I had some cleaves, and I was like, "Oh, sweet! I'm gonna cleave somebody."
Yeah.
Everywhere I looked was heavily armoured legs, and it was like, man, like, what the hell am I going to do? Like, I need to try and get those legs. That's how you kill people. Arms is good, but no.
Yeah, I went down with Orion, and he had like a longer staff, and that gave him entangle and venom, I think. And I had weakness on the shorter thing. So it was just fun. Like, we had like little special powers. I weaknessed a few people, but ultimately we end up just being driven back to the point where we can see them starting to go through the main gate, right, the bottom gate, and we're heading back to go through top gate. But there's just suddenly a call to just charge the gate as they're going through, and we're still being followed by this massive flank of Dawn. So this is like immediately committing ourselves to a donutting, right? But we all just run in, and like the first few seconds, and I'm talking seconds, were like effective, and then all of a sudden it was like we were just getting chopped down. It's just a savage chopping, and like fighting to like the last person, getting pressed up against the sort of fence that leads next to where the gate is, and the Imperials just gave us no quarter at all. We got absolutely ruffle stomped.
Were you more of a speed bump than a blockade?
Yeah, it was like crazy. I think like it came down to like the last moments, and I was just like, I'm gonna weakness somebody, right? Like, because I've not even been able to engage. I just like stepped out, took a bunch of hits, just impaled someone, and just got absolutely butchered. Sorry, weakness somebody, and then got absolutely butchered. And I was just like, yeah, this was so good. The Imperials owned it. So hand up, walk back through top gate. Respawn up there. What are you doing at this point?
I go back, respawn virtually immediately, going to like a 30.
Is this still in the field section?
No, this is back in the forest.
Right.
30 odd. We come up and we're trying to harass behind. Well, everything's moving, and we basically just kind of skirt around, not being engaged, and eventually get stuck into them.
Yeah.
And then it's like, it's these tiny pockets in this labyrinth of fucking trees and bushes that are like pushing against each other, and you may feel like you're in a really good position, and it turns out you're like being surrounded. And it was like a repeat of the Saturday battle, but the Imperials were all over it like a rash.
Yeah.
Like, I saw people getting knocked down and pushed behind enemy lines, but they were really good at punching through and rescuing those people before their time was up, because if we were both people down, I think they lost, 3 Imperial citizens?
I don't know, yeah.
So it was very small.
Small numbers, but I did see a few of the times when the kills were made, I think. And that was like, because the battle was so chaotic that it was like, there were just these little bits, and I think you talked about this like off recording a little bit, like there was these bits where like the backs of 2 different forces were like facing each other, because there were so many different angles being fought for, and it was like there was a lot of that, and like people being pulled out of position, but ultimately they just rolled us up and just absolutely bossed it.
I respawned twice, and then, or did I? I don't think I got respawned once. It might have been for the second time I was about to respawn. Yeah, they said no more respawns.
Yeah.
We even got given orders that if there's enough casualties that we need to act scared and run away. I think it was like a slam dunk for the players, but also like we just got murdered.
I mean, that was a bunch of times I had so much fun as well, because like I'm slightly back from the line being a battle mage, and then like Millie's playing as like a slave, like giving like a healer who's like a non-orc slave to the Druj, and I'm just like giving her all this shit. And like, you know, and then she does this RP where she chops off her arm, and attaches it to an orc that's lost their arm or something, so he gets a replacement. It was such cool, like it was just like, wow, that's awesome.
That's so dedication to the role.
And I was still giving her shit, like asking why she had another arm. like it was so much fun. Her RP was off the chain. I actually survived to the end of the battle, but that was not through any skill. That was just luck.
Did you get told to run away?
No, we basically just got told to sort of withdraw to this section, and I think that basically represented us retreating. I didn't actually know what was going on. It was so chaotic, and it was just so many people were dead, and I think I was one of the last few who weren't dead, and just basically the Imperials got bored of killing us and left. Absolutely triumphant.
Yeah, I had some really good fights in that though.
I did, yeah.
So it was like we definitely got fucking stomped, but like the actual fights I did have were really fun.
Yeah, I mean I actually really enjoyed using the whole spells thing, like calling out weakness, doing little saying before you deliver it and stuff, and just getting shanked up horribly. And
travel light.
Yeah, the clothing, dude. Not having to wear like heavy armor. I was like, this is definitely something attractive to this. Man.
Well, after the battle, headed back, knowing that meant that we had taken control of the Barrens.
Yes.
Which is a really fucking big deal for Dawn.
It's a massive deal. Well, because, Dawn were going to gain the territory. But also, it sort of really helps out with a front.
Yeah.
Like, massively against the Druj.
The same with the League thing, right? Like, taking over Spiral. Unless it's like an elaborate trap.
Oh, dude, it's the Grendel. It's the Grendel, man.
Elaborate trap. But when standing, standing was good. I think it was either Sunday or Saturday. But the person that runs the circle got branded for being, or tattooed for being awesome.
Amazing.
They got given the name the Hammer.
Yes, dude, that was so cool. Seeing the general, I can't remember her name, but she was amazing. She leads standing as well.
Fucking girl boss all day long, man. She's fucking
absolutely
badass.
Awesome, dude. So happy for her.
Yeah, so that was really cool. I mean, there was also like, a person that's running for the throne showed up just as we were about to do like when we welcome people into the nation.
Yeah,
and they were like, "Oh, we're going to talk now." I was like, "Oh, we could talk." And they started the ceremony, and I was just like, "Actually, did you wait?
Yeah.
I went and sang along, painted with
the new recruits, right? Joining the
Yeah, it was fucking wholesome, and like there was younguns and new players, and they were getting fucking sworn in. It was fucking dope.
It's so good, right? Like, and I think they had some more to do a bit later as well, because some people are still down. So it's like, it's an awesome little ceremony. I love all those little traditions and kind of cultural things, and obviously all the different nations have them. It's just like, I think it really adds to the vibe.
Dude, fuck that. Navarre are fucking awesome. They're like, our ceremony is like, feels. And then after that, I was like, okay.
Yeah, I had the same thing. So I'm there, and then this chap comes up who wants to interview me. He's from the Oath Rite.
Okay.
And he wants to interview me about like the history of the Ashbourne, the history of the Navarches, like, and what's happened recently with me. Like, basically a full. I'm terrified of what he's going to write based off what I said.
You can completely trust the papers, Ian.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get stitched up so bad. But it was awesome, RP. Like, he literally was taking all the notes down. I mean, you've done this before, so it's like, but it was just like, it was so fun, man. Just to have like, and I'm Talasing out, right? I'm giving him like Talas's version of events.
Giving him the full beans.
Yeah, Talas's version of events. What's going on? He's also like a wisdom priest, I think, if I'm remembering rightly. And he was like, so during the whole interview, he was also talking to me as a priest. It was awesome, dude. Like, it was really good fun. Really, really good fun. I super enjoyed that. How was this meeting then?
Oh, so we sat down and had just a bit of a chat, and I had Quill and I had Keys with me.
Yeah, because I saw you, because this is the thing. I was originally going to walk over with this report, and I turned up and the camp was full and it looked like important. I was like, let's do this somewhere else.
It was a really good chat, and I was like, hanging out, loads of weapons. This person's very like, actually I can't describe them at all. It was really good RP.
Yeah.
But basically I just asked some questions. What do
Yeah.
you think about this? What do you think about this? What do you think about this? And then I was like, and then they gave me a proposition, and I was like, it's not a proposition for my vote.
Yeah.
So it's.
Can you talk about this?
I don't think I know about it, but a really fucking interesting offer, and I was like immediately like, yes, this is what I want. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's so cool, dude. Like I really just, there was bits like that where I'd walk up and like serious things were happening, and it was like, I can stay, but I got to be like on the wall, or like I just leave now and leave them to it because it's so exciting.
Politicking, man.
It's so much fun. Yeah.
But then after that, I headed to Senate. They had moved Senate from the Senate House to the Academy.
That sounds like
there was
really
a
good
roof.
idea.
Very good idea. So it was kind of fucking anarchy when we first got there, because there's all these sweaty people.
Yeah.
The tent's a whole different vibe from the Senate building, and they had to like section out an area just for senators. It was kind of chaos, and people couldn't try and come through the tent, and they were told by the throne guard to back off, or the Senate guard. And there was a big old throng of people in there, and it was a different vibe, because there was a lot more of a kind of like, people were a lot more louder and engaged, which I think it was a change of setting. But yeah, I did my thing. I voted. I wish I could speak about this, and I can't really speak about it. But there was one vote that I voted against, and I was like, I kind of got a dog in that fight. Like, I kind of think that that's probably something that we should have done.
Yeah.
And we didn't do it. And it's like,
Yeah.
But generally, then it came to the fucking vote about Dawn taking over the Barrens, okay? Yeah. And there's Dornish people fucking lining everywhere, okay? And there's a vibe in the air. And everyone's come to see this fucking historic moment come to pass. Yeah. And basically, they were trying to keep the questions light, because everyone is fucking hot, dude. It's really fucking hot in there. And they were like, you should swap out if you wanted to, but I sat for it. But people offered me water.
Oh, that's
like,
great. Yeah.
Dude, like, thanks to the homies that were outside the tent offering me water. That's very good. But yeah, we did our voting thing, but tried to keep questions to limited. Then came up to the big one, the Barrens, and it was like a lot of people speaking in favour, and there was one sole senator that voted, that was like spoke against it, and voted against it because it's a public record. Was one of the Eurozenis who was like, and dude, it was fucking rough.
Yeah.
But then the Barrens got signed over.
Yeah.
Almost unanimously.
Yeah.
And the fucking Dawners cheered. There's a lot of glory.
Yeah.
A lot of glory and love.
Right. Okay.
That's new.
Yeah.
That's new.
Interesting. Interesting. Draw from it your own
But
conclusions.
now they have a whole other territory to go and yell glory in. So good luck to them.
That's the whole side of game is just so interesting, but all the meetings and stuff just put me off so much. But what I've loved is actually just seeing like you really find who Gellert is within this space, and like the little developments that have happened with the character. And then one of my favourite parts was, why I'm saying this is because you asked me for my parasol.
Well, I thought I would be standing in the sun, so I did ask Talis for his parasol so I could get the sun out of my eyes.
Gold and green parasol.
And all I did was, because I was indoors, was stand there and sit there with a very gaudy
it was
parasol.
Amazing. It was amazing to see you embrace the practicality of the parasol.
It was, I didn't get to actually use it once. I literally
it was literally a weight you had to carry around.
I literally carried it around with me. I didn't use it at one point. So that was good to have my introduction to a lot of people holding that item. Man,
dude. Oh, I should also say, like, I had the bow stuff sorted, passed that off. That was just awesome RP, because this is close towards the end of the event. And it was just like that final kind of bit of RP interaction. Iona comes up while I'm handing it over, and there's obviously like witnessing it being done kind of thing. And it was cool. It was like a fun, like bless her, there's like a possibility for a future. But kind of thing. It's so fun, and I can't wait for it.
You've brought your friendship levels up to neutral.
I don't think so. I think this is like we'll never have what we had, but like all this kind of stuff. The drama's so spicy.
Dude, it's so spicy though. I wish we could talk about how spicy it is, because there's like layers of delicious flavouring underneath all of this that are so good and juicy. And I know stuff, and I can't talk about stuff.
Yeah, right.
And it sucks. Yeah. Because there's some juicy innards in there that
I gave at certain points. I said very specific things to people that could allude to what the truth is. So I can't really say any more than that. But some people have certainly heard a certain point of view that if they extract would lead to discovery. But it's very, very hard. But
okay, review of E3 E2 then. What do you think generally?
It was great. Like basically how you said to Bunk, take the heat out of it, right? Just concentrate on the things you did, the experiences, all of that, and the pleasant parts of the heat as well. But like, just insane ORP,
dude.
The whole time.
I think things like, even now, the Monday, the image of me talking to the advisor to the Fenny while we're all hiding underneath their their shaded area.
Yeah.
Underneath it, well, that could be taken the wrong way. But we're under their shaded area, and it was just like really. It was fucking hot.
Yeah.
But we were just like, let's get to work.
Yeah, everybody was like really giving it a go the whole event, and hats off to everyone. All the people.
I did see, and we made a meme of stay hydrated when we were did the Forgotten How to LARP video. But man,
it's very true.
I couldn't drink enough.
Yeah.
I had to drink all the time, and then I drank like 2 big of my cups, which are definitely over.
The big
almost
cups,
half a pint, right? At least. Oh, no, more than half a pint, almost a pint. I drank a bunch of water and I went to pee. And they had one of those, the flappy bits on the plastic toilets, right? Where a certain amount of weight will
push it down,
and there'll be a little clap.
Yeah.
I went for a pee, and not enough pee to make the flap move happen.
You just absorbed everything.
And I was just like so disappointed. It was like, I need to drink even more water than this. I'm like ballooned in weight. Like I'm sloshing.
Man, dude, but like, yeah, and that was a very real thing. That was a very real thing.
Yeah, I think we're excited for the next event.
Yeah, man. Like, I think like it's going to be interesting seeing the kind of the change in it. I don't know, maybe like pace of it all, because like there won't be the Fawns Council thing anymore. But there's this very personal story now. We're still like. I'm still venomed at this stage. The whole event, by the way, I was venomed. And it's like, I had the ability to cure myself and then reapply it as well. But it was just so... And then like...
Oh, I love the detail when you were talking about, your security were like, you're venomed.
Oh, that was so fun.
Are you fucking crazy?
Yeah,
and then
I told
you were
them
like,
I venomed myself.
Well, even if you do cure it, I'm actually an apothecary could make more and then just do it to myself again.
Yes.
And they were like, oh shit. Like, that's just how it is.
It was so funny, the hatred. When the captain learned about it, he was like, hang on a second. He literally stormed off. Oh man. But it was so fun, man. And just seeing all the different things we both got up to, I mean, jeez, man.
Okay. We're going to thank our patrons.
Yes.
There are 11 active patrons.
11.
So I'm going to use a digital roller.
Oh.
Because an 11-sided dice is kind of difficult.
Yeah.
So
that's good
sorry,
luck.
patrons, but that's the way it is. Okay. Right, we'll do 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do 3. Okay. Okay, the first one is number 2. Oh. That's not their... Their name is there.
Elliot Goddard.
Elliot Goddard.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for giving us your patronage. Wow, this is going to take a while, dude.
This is the worst. By the way, this is how long suffering.
Stay with me.
This is how long suffering the patrons are. Like this is such a damning indictment.
It's Detty R.
Oh, thank you
Detty.
so much.
We've got one more. Stop. Come on, keep with it. It's 11. Okay, I'm going to move over.
We genuinely love you guys.
Okay, it's
oh gosh,
the bottom one.
Oh, Charles Yarnold.
Thank you very much. Thank you
so much.
Oh my god,
all of you.
We're really tired. It's really hot in here, by the way.
Man, doing the recording the day afterwards, like it was basically the only time we had. I think it's given us a different perspective on it. It was fun to sort of do all of these for sure.
It would be
Just
good.
Get it all out.
It would be good to marinate till Wednesday, I think.
Yeah,
because that must have seemed like a fucking weird, like.
Yeah, I don't know what this is like as a listening experience because this is very much literally the day after stuff.
I'm off to another LARP next weekend.
You're a madman, but I love it.
It's so many. This one's like a Northern Kingdoms ball that I put such a long time ago, and now I'm here. I'm like, oh my god, more LARP. And then you've got Ragnarok not long after that, right? Oh yeah, don't get me started about Ragnarok. I need to fucking buy my ticket and do a character sheet for that. Yeah, I've got to finish your armor, and then I'll get that done soon. Oh yeah, it's fine. It's just the end of the month. Yeah. So, right, straight to the Empire, straight from the bar.